Hey guys, my name is Aditya, and in this tutorial, we'll be looking at how we can use MindsDB for forecasting quarterly house sales. So, if you are new with MindsDB, I would definitely suggest you to check out their documentation as well as the GitHub. I'll drop in the links in the description. So now about MindsDB, what is MindsDB? So MindsDB could be described as a tool that kind of abstracts or it kind of gets rid of the entire extract, transform, load, ETL pipeline, I would say, when it comes to machine learning applications. So suppose for let us consider the present application, right? Let us consider the forecasting quarterly house sales problem statement in a sense. If we were to use something like TensorFlow, then we would be having to load the data set, clean the data set, and then definitely make the model and finally fit the model and then predict the values for the future, right? Now, with MindsDB, you just need the data in a database and you can basically use the MindsDB server, establish a connection to the database, and that's it. You just run a prediction command on the MindsDB server and you have your model ready, and you can again use MindsDB itself for making the prediction too. So it's very straightforward, simple process, and the documentation helps a lot. So I would definitely ask you to check it out first. And yeah, definitely you can follow along with me in this tutorial. So let's start with the tutorial. So the very first thing you guys need to do is go to MindsDB and create a free account. It's just a very simple process. I have already created mine and I'll just log in. And the very first thing that we'll see after logging in is definitely this playground. And let me just explain to you what you're seeing on the screen, right? So yeah, we'll just wait for it to load. And yeah, it's loaded. So this is basically where you enter the command, and here you get the output. It's as simple as that. It's like your SQL terminal in a sense, in a way. Now I have the house sales tutorial here with me. You will need it because some of the commands are quite long, and but it's pretty easy to understand. So I'll definitely help you with that. So the very first thing that we need to understand is that we need the data, right? And MindsDB, for its actual application, we need to connect MindsDB to a database, and the MindsDB website itself actually provides us with an example database that the for which we need to load it first using the uh, code that's shown here, basically the query that is shown here. So we'll basically use that, and we'll basically do shift enter. And right now you'll see that the output says database example underscore db already exists. You will not probably see this because you're doing it for the first time. I have already done this, and that's why it shows me the error. Now, yeah. So let's, since we already have the example database and the demo database with us, let us just see the data, shall we? So it's very simple. We just need to write the SQL query, right? So select star from it's example underscore db dot demo underscore data dot house underscore sales. It's as simple as that. And yeah, here's the data. So basically, we have four columns. We have the sale date, which is this is a time series data set. So you should be expecting the sale date, which increments in a quarterly manner. So it's like every year we'll have four data points as such. And then we have the moving average of the cost of the house. Moving average, you get it right? Yeah. So and then we have the type of the house followed by the bedroom count. Now we'll be using this data set, and the data set is actually taken from Kaggle, so you can definitely check it out. I'll drop the link for the data set too in the description. I'll just close that right now. And yeah, so we have the data, and now we have four columns, and out of which one we have to predict. So definitely the moving average column, MA column, is the one that we have to predict because it is the cost of the house over that time period. So in the first quarter of the year 2007, it was that amount, and in the next quarter it became this, and so on. Now the inputs for our model will be the type, bedroom, and the year over which we need to forecast the data, right? So that would be our input. Now, okay, so we have loaded the data, right? So loading the data is done. Now the next thing, we don't need to pre-process it. We don't need to like explicitly load it or something. We just need to type in the command for our predictor to run. So the command for that is pretty simple. You just code along with me, I would say. So it goes like create predictor. So that's like a reserved keyword because create predictor means now you're going to make a machine learning model right now. And then you do MindsDB dot. Now, this would be the name of the model. So you can kind of name it anything you want. I would go with house underscore sales underscore model. And okay, now we have to create this predictor model, right? We have to create predictor named this from what? From our database. So what's our database? Example underscore DB. And you'll need to for all the columns. So you'll do select star from example underscore DB. What was the rest? Yeah, it would be demo underscore data dot house underscore sales. Now we have created the predictor, the name. We have defined the data from which we would create the model. Now we need to define what is our uh, we need to define the y, the column that we need to predict. So that would be predict MA. You need to be careful here because you need to make sure that the column headings, right? The column titles match. Predict MA, and we would be ordering order by basically order by sale date because it's a time series, sale date, and what are the other independent variables? Definitely the type and the bedrooms, right? So group by would apply the type, bedrooms. Now, this is something that is specific only for time series. You would not see it in a normal regression or classification. It's called window 8 horizon 4. And this basically means that window 8 basically means use the past 8 quarters, quarterly data. So basically data over the past 2 years has to be used for predicting the output and how much will be forecasting, how much do we forecast into the future? 4 quarters. We forecast into the future 4 quarters or a year's forecast, right? So that is what we'll be forecasting. Now that's pretty much it actually. Can you just imagine like that is all it takes to define your model. And now you just run it. Hopefully no errors. Very successfully. Now your model must have started training behind the scenes. You would like to check it out. So definitely you have this command called select star from predictors. Again, predictors is basically like a table of all the models that you are training. So if you do this, you will see that the model name you gave, it's currently training and no errors. So what happens is that sometimes, very rarely, you can get the predictor making query correct, but still there can be an error while training the data, training the model. So that kind of errors can be seen here. So this command actually helps you to listen to all that. So we'll just wait for the model to train, still training. And yeah, so once the training has been complete, right, we can easily make the prediction. Now I'll just move to the tutorial and I'll show you the command for making the prediction. So this is the command for making a prediction, and we'll be using a little different format, mainly because here they are pulling it off the file. The data is being pulled off the file and not the database. So that's why you will see the files.house sales here. We'll replace it by example underscore data at db dot demo data dot house underscore sales. So let us, yeah, okay. So our machine learning model has been trained completely and the accuracy is 0.46, not bad. And now it's simple. We just need to make the prediction, right? So select, again, select. We'll do m dot sale date as date and m dot ma as forecast and MA underscore explain. I'll tell you what that is later. And now you need to do from MindsDB, our predictor, right? MindsDB dot house underscore sales underscore model as M. And okay, so yeah, as M join and our example database. DB dot demo underscore data dot that yeah, house underscore sales, I guess, right? House underscore skill sales as T. And yeah, finally T dot sales date greater than latest and T dot type equal to house and T dot bedrooms equal to and that should be limited to 4. See. Uh, okay, sale date. Yeah, yeah. This should. Yeah, so we have got it. So we have made the prediction. We have made the forecast for the next year. So let me just tell you, I did take quite some time to write the command. So it's kind of self-explanatory as such. So we have our MindsDB model. So it's kind of like a table, right? It's kind of like our prediction table from which we'll predict the data for the future. So we have to predict the sale date. The sale date will be the quarterly durations or points in the coming year, and m.ma, our column that we have to predict the values for. Ma underscore explain basically says with what confidence the model is sure about the value that it has put in that column. So that's it. And then we have from mindsdb.house underscore model, and then we have to join with the original data set, and we have to just set our conditions. So these are the inputs in a way. Latest is basically a reserved keyword which refers to the latest date in our current data set. So basically, it will predict from that point. So we could have just kept something else, and yeah, definitely it will predict from that point too. So now we'll just try for a unit, which is another category, right? And yeah, we got it for now. We'll try for different number of bedrooms. Table for join is not found. Okay, maybe yeah. So maybe 5 was an invalid value due to which we couldn't see that. So basically, that is it. That is how powerful MindsDB is. With MindsDB, you can just connect to a database, and then you kind of get everything done. So that was a basic tutorial on how to use MindsDB. For other tutorials and for the understanding of MindsDB, definitely check out MindsDB documentation. It's very clean and clear. It's kind of, spoon fed to you. So that's been me. And yeah, thank you for listening. Bye.